I'm here to do our Tuesday, the 24th of March math sheet checkup. So if you need some help and you started it and you went, oh, I don't like this, then you're in the right place. I'm going to go through it slowly and explain it as I go. If you've already done it and you're thinking, I'd like to check and make sure that my math makes sense, then you're also in the right place. So make sure you've got everything you need, so a pencil and your workbook, and let's get started. All right, so here is today's Tuesday the 24th of March, and this is the page you should have in front of you if you're going to be working through this video with me. So we're going to start with our our math, our daily math. Now you might freak out when you see this. Don't. It's just a decimal point. It actually makes very little difference to what you do when you add the two together. So all you're going to want to do is make sure that you keep track of where that point is. Just like you've been doing in addition and subtraction since grade 2, you're just going to make sure you pay attention to the place value. And I'll show you what I mean in just a second. So we're going to start with this number here. Okay, so these are tenths and these are hundredths. And that'll become more important as we go. But I'm going to start with my my hundredths right here. So it's what you'd almost think is the one spot. It's not the one spot, the hundredths. So 6 plus 2 is 8. So just put my 8 there. Okay, 7, well, now I'm on my tenths. 7 plus 9 is 16. Now watch what I do. I'm going to zoom in so you can see. I put my 6 here. And then my 1 just goes up in the next because think about it. If you were adding money, it's just the same as adding money. You're gonna sometimes, if you have enough pennies, they turn into $1. That's all it is. So imagine that's an extra $1 worth of money. That's all it is. It's just the same as when you're adding money. So, well, you are adding money, but I mean in a store. So I'm gonna put my 1 up there. So now 1 plus 4 is 5. 5 plus 5 is 10. I'm gonna do it again. I'm gonna put my 0 down here and my 1 up here, just like we did in addition and subtraction with regrouping in grade 2 and 3 and 4. It's the same thing. All right, 7 plus 2 is 9, and 1 more is 10. So it's 168. Okay, $100.68. Now, I'm going to put the dollar sign here, because if I cover up the dollar sign, it's 100.68. If I take the dollar sign away, it's $100.68. Okay, when we read a decimal, we actually don't say 0.68, we would say 0.68, except when we're reading money, and then we have to go $100.68. Okay, and we're going to practice this together. We practiced it a little bit in class, but we're going to move towards more practicing of this, and it's not scary. It'll just help you when you're out shopping or, trying to figure out real world stuff. Okay, let's go number 2. Write the smallest number possible with these digits. Now, we practice this a lot at the beginning of the year. You're going to want your smallest number possible in your place value spots. So I'm going to start with 2. It's my smallest number. And then I go, my next smallest number is 3. And cross that out. My next smallest number is 5. And my next smallest number is 8. So my answer is 2,358. Now, number 3. Chris had to give half of his sticker collection to his brother. He had 384 stickers. How many does he have left? So you could do this any number of ways. The easiest is to divide it by 2. So you could do 384 divided by 2. You could use long division because half, remember we did this yesterday and on Monday with things, half is dividing it into 2 equal groups that are the same size. So half of his sticker collection. He had to give half of it to his brother, his stinky brother. All right, now let's go through this and explain how we would do it. So I'm actually just going to break the number into 2. So you could do divide by 2, or you could do it the way I'm going to do it, and both ways are correct. So I'm going to go half of 300 is 150, and I'm going to go half of 80 is 40, and I'm going to do half of 4 is 2. So that is, and then I would add it together, so 150 plus 40 is 190. Oh, sorry, I'm just going to turn off my email notifications. 150 plus 40 is 190, plus 2 more are 192. Now, we could also check this using long division because I love long division. So let's check it out. So I've got 384 and I'm going to divide by 2. Okay, so 2 goes into 3 one times. 1 times 2, or 2 times 1 is 2. There's a difference of 1. I can't put 2 into 1, so I'm going to bring down the 8. 2 goes into 18 9 times. 2 times 9 is 18. Difference of 0. Bring down the 4. 2 goes into 4 2 times. 2 times 2 is 4. And I'm done. Now, both of these ways, I got 192 and 192. So, no matter how you did it, you could do it in your head by thinking, or you could write it down with long division. Both ways are correct if you got 192. Now, let's move on to number 4. Write the number 1,499 in words. Now, I'm going to try and do this. I love neat writing, but it's really hard to write neat while you're also holding a phone. So I'm going to do my best. So, 1,000 400. And remember, we don't say and. I know that sometimes we say it when we're talking. We'll go 1,499, but 1,499. And that's how we do that. All right, the next one. Round this number to the nearest 10. So our rule for rounding, we look at the last number because we're looking at this 10. We're rounding to the nearest 10. So we look at the number before, oops, sorry. My hands are in the way. We look at the number in the 1 spot. Now, if it's more than 5, we round up to the next 10. If it's less than 5, we'd round back. Stumbling over my words here. So 3,986, we're going to round up to the next 10. So 3,990. 3,990. All right, now on to the next. The problem solving. My family visited a restaurant and bought 5 meals. 2 of the meals cost $14 each. Another meal cost $17, and the 2 final meals cost $23 each. We also got dessert for $5. How much was the bill before taxes? Now we're gonna go through and add this up. So they brought 5 meals. I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, because I know I have 5 meals. Okay, 5 meals. 2 of the meals were $14. So I always find when I'm solving problems, it helps me to write it out. And then I can keep all of the numbers straight and make sure I'm answering what they're asking. So they're asking what the bill was before taxes. And we can totally figure that out with the information we have here. So the first 2 of my meals were $14. 14. Okay, so I've used that information. Another meal costs $17. And the 2 final meals cost $23 each. Okay, now you think, all right, now what? Okay, let's keep reading. We also got a dessert, each got a dessert for $5. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people times $5 is $25 for dessert. So this also has to be added into our total. We're figuring out the bill. So let's go through it. We're gonna add these up. You could use any strategy to add them up. I'm actually going to switch colors because I think that's helpful. So I'm going to first go 14 plus 14, 28. 23 plus 23, 46. So I look for those easy to add numbers. And then I could go 17 plus 25. So I could count 1 more 10, 35, and then 7 ones. So 35, 40, 41, 42. So these 2 together are 42. Now let's add all of my totals together. Again, you guys could just stack them and do them Grandma Grandpa's way. Sometimes when I'm solving problems, I like to work through them in a different way so you kind of see a different way of thinking. And that's why I love our math talks at school. I'm trying to bring a little bit of that because someone always has an interesting way of solving our problems. Okay, so I'm going to stack them now. 28 plus 46 plus 42. Okay, 8 and 2 is 10, plus 6 more is 16. And now I'm going to add my tens. 4 and 4 is 80. Sorry, 40 and 40 is 80. 90, 100, 110. So there, let's make sure we got all our information. Okay, 23, 23, yep. Okay, and this is their bill before taxes. We don't have to do anything else other than figure out their total before taxes. And their total was, remember we need to put what we're measuring it in. It's not 116 cents, it's $116 because all of our numbers were in dollars. So I've got $116 to take this person's family out for 5 meals. Okay, so $116 is my total. Again, you could have added and figured it out however you liked, but this is the total number. All right, let's go on to the next part. So long division, I don't know what's on my paper here. Long division, my favorite. We're gonna go through this together. So I'm gonna get started with number 6. So we're working with 7s here. Oh, dropped my phone again. Sorry. I'm doing my best to shoot these videos. It is a little bit challenging as this isn't how I'm used to teaching, but I'm doing my best and I appreciate your patience while I figure it out because it will get better. Okay, so 7, can it go into 6? Nope. We don't have enough room. So it's a 0. 0 times 7 times 0 is 0. 6. Now I bring down the 9. How many times does 7 go into 69? So it's almost 70. So we know if you think about it, it's going to be 9, right? Because it's almost 70. So 9 times. 7 times 9, 63. With a difference of 6. Now I bring down my 3. How many times does 7 go into 63? Well, we just did it, right? 63. 7 times 9 is 63. All right, and the last number is 63. So it's 9 times 7 times 9 is 63. And if we subtract, sorry, those were subtractions. We subtract, we get to 0. So we know we're on the right track. Again, if you've solved this another way, that's awesome. As long as you're not using a calculator, I really want you to try and figure it out on your own. If you want to practice the steps of long division, even if you're just following along on the video with me, that works too. Okay, now 2, okay, so 2 doesn't go into 1. There's not enough room. 2 times 0 is 0. 1. Okay, so I'm going to bring down this 4. Right? And now I'm working with 14. 2, oh, you can't see, sorry, you can't see because of my thumb. 2 goes into 14 7 times. 2 times 7 is 14. All right, so take away, find the difference. There is no difference. Then I bring down my 2. Now 2 goes into 2 1 times. 2 times 1 is 2 for a difference of 0. Now, if you are getting to the point in your long division where you don't have to write down all the steps and you just know it, that's okay too. I'm going to go through the steps because a lot of us are still practicing their steps for long division, and that's awesome. So the more you can watch me solving long divisions and solve along with me, the better. Even if you want to try it, pause the video and try this next one. So start with how many times does 8 go into 2? Go through all the steps, and then you can press play when you're ready to check your work. Okay, so here I go. How many times does 8 go into 2? Well, that's 0 times. 8 times 0 is 0, a difference of 2. Now I bring down my 5. How many times does 8 go into 25? Well, 8 times 3 is 24, so 3 times. 8 times 3 is 24. I want to figure out the difference, see what I've got left. So I subtract. Then I use my arrow to bring down that 6 from the ones place. Okay. Now I have to see how many times 8 goes into 16. Well, I know from my times tables, and if you want to use a multiplication chart, you can, but I know from my times tables that 8 times 2 is 16. 8 times 2 is 16. So then if you want to do your check here, you can see what the difference is, and it's 0. We don't have any remainders. None of these had remainders, actually. Okay, now let's go on to it's number 9, but this one. What I want you to do right now is try to pause the video if you think that you're ready. Pause the video, work through this, and then press play, and then you can go through the steps with me and double check your work. Okay, so 6 goes into 4 0 times. 6 times 0 is 0. Now the difference between 0 and 4 is 4. So I bring down the 6. 6 goes into 46. So how many times does 6 go into 46? Now I know from my rule about evens and sixes that 6 times 8 is 48. So I know that it's going to be 7 times. So 6 goes into 46 7 times. And then I go 6 times 7. Okay, 6 times 7 is 42. I need to find the difference so I know what I'm working with here. So 6 take away 2 is 4. 4 take away 4 is 0. Okay, now I bring down this 2. How many times does 6 go into 42? Well, we just answered that, Mrs. Oakes. It's 7 times. 6 times 7 is 42. There you go. Okay, let's move on to number 5. Number 5. Oh, wait, it's actually number 10. But it's number 5 for us. To make these workbooks, I did cut and paste from a lot of different worksheets, just kind of the way I do at school, where I mix up what we're doing every math class. So you don't have a whole page of long division. You get a little bit of something every day. Okay, now you can pause the video and work through this, and then press play to check your work. So 5 goes into 1 0 times. 5 times 0 is 0. Okay, and again, you could just go 5 goes into 14, go straight there, but it's good to practice the steps when you're first starting long division. Okay, 5, bring down the 4. Focus, Mrs. Oakes. Okay, so 5 goes into 14, so remember your 5 times tables, 5, 10, 15. Oh, it's going to be 2 times. 5 times 2 is 10. Now we subtract the difference. The difference between 14 and 10 is 4. Then I know that I can't fit another 5 in that 4, so I am going to bring down this 5. Now 5 goes into 45 9 times. 5 times 9 is 45. My difference is 0. Okay, now we're going to move on to the next bit. It's a little bit of quick division. Now the answers are all here for you. You just have to rearrange the numbers. These are the fact families, and you would have done this in grade 3 and grade 4, but I've thought it would be a good time to review and remind you, because we're focusing on division, remind you how you can use your multiplication facts to help you with division. So if you zoom in here, those are division symbols. They didn't print so great, but that's okay. So all you do is you rearrange, you look at your numbers. Now, remember from earlier in the year, factor, product. Factor, product. And that's how it is with multiplication. Now, for division, you start with the biggest number, the product. Okay, 40 divided by 4 is 10. Have I used all the numbers? Yes, I have. Again, start with the biggest number, divided by 10 is 4. So you can do this for all of them. I want you to pause the video and try this on your own. Okay, so pause the video and then come back for the explanation, because I'm going to do the next one super quickly. So again, I look factor, product. My product would be the first one when I'm changing it to multiplication. 30 divided by 6 is 5. See how I've used 5 and 6? We're just rearranging the numbers because they are a family. They all live in this little fact house together. This fact family. Oh, they're so happy in their little fact house. Okay, sorry, focus, Mrs. Oaks. Okay, so I start with my biggest number, divided by 2 is 8. 16 divided by 8 is 2. So this is how we practice our division facts. You could start looking at picking 8 times tables or 7 times tables and start practicing your multiplication and division facts if you need something more mathy to do today. Okay, 27 divided by 9 is 3. 27 divided by 3 is 9. Now we're going to move on to the next part. Sorry, gotta move my paper up, find some room on my desk here. Okay, shaky, shaky camera. Go for 48. Divided by 8 is 6. 48 divided by 6 is 8. Okay, 42 divided by 6 is 7. 42 divided by 7 is 6. 12 divided by 3 is 4. 12 divided by 4 is 3. 56. Oh, 8 times 7 is 56 is my absolute favorite. Well, that and 3 times 7 is 21, but I love this fact because once you've memorized this fact, because people call it the scariest fact, I don't know, maybe because there's not a lot of related facts, but once you've memorized 8 times 7 is 56, it's nice because you never panic when you see it again. All right, 56 divided by 7 is 8. All right, so there is our fact families. They're all safe and warm in their little fact houses. Okay, I'm not going to waste any more of your time drawing pictures. I can do that on my own time. Now, identifying fractions. So this one, again, we're just doing some basic fractions review, which is what we would be doing if we were in regular class. But I figured it would be good to do a little bit on our own. And this is basic review of stuff from grade 3 and grade 4, but we're gonna go through it together to make sure that you remember it. So it says identify the fractions. Circle the fraction that is represented by the shaded parts. Now the word represented means just circle the fraction that the part is showing, okay? That is shown. That's another way to say that word, shown. All right, so this one, you can't really see in my copy here because it didn't copy well, but we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pieces. And then out of those 7 pieces, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I have 5/7. Okay, and this one, I have halves. Remember, that's 2 pieces is called a half. I have 1/2 because 1 out of the 2 is colored. Okay, now I look at this, and these are 1, 2, 3, 4. These are 8ths. You just can't see the rest of them. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4 out of 8 are colored in. Now again, this is a bad photocopy, but we have 4ths. Okay. You have the option of 1/4, 2/2, or 2/4. So if you look, you have 2/4 colored in, shaded in. Okay, now this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now all 8 out of the 8ths are shaded in, and that's 8/8. Now you could also call that one whole. One whole. I always like to say, imagine it's a chocolate bar and you're eating the whole chocolate bar. That's one whole. Okay, this one, I have 3 pieces and there are 2 shaded, so it's going to be 2/3. Okay, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces. And I have 1, 2, 3 out of the 5 shades. It's 3/5. And this one here, I have 1, 2, 3 pieces, and 2 are shaded, so it's 2/3. Right? You look at the number. Okay, now looking here, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pieces. Okay, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 shaded. Okay, so I have 7/8. Now this one, I have 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, and how many shaded? 2. So you have 2/12 shaded. I don't know why I'm yelling. Fractions are exciting, I guess. Okay. Now this one, you have 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces. So the number of pieces goes on the bottom. Okay, and then I have 2 shaded. So it's 2/4 or 2/4. Now this one here, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pieces. And I have 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces shaded. So 4 out of the 6 are shaded. Just imagine it's a spelling test when people are trying to realize or remember how to write fractions. Imagine it's the spelling test. And the number you could have got right is on the bottom, and the number you did get right is on the top. Okay, so it's 4/6. Alrighty, now we're going to move on to the next part. You guys are probably going to love this because I'm sure you love to color them so beautifully. I'm going to color them beautifully with my green pen. Okay, so it says shade the parts to represent each fraction. So 8/10, 8/10. Okay, I just shaded an 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, which will mean I have 2 that aren't shaded. 2/5, there's already broken into 5 equal parts. I just have to shade 2 of them. 1, 2. Okay, 1/6. I already broken into 6 parts, and I only have to shade 1 of them. This one, 3/6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm gonna shade 3 out of the 6. 1/4. Oh, this is easy. I know I can just shade 1 of those to make 1/4. And remember, quarter is another word for fourths. Okay, 2/3. Dun, 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 dun. 2. 3/4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm gonna shade in 1, 2, 3 of those. 1/3. And again, it doesn't matter which one I pick. I'm gonna pick the middle one because I want to, but you could color any one to make 1/3. All right. Through Tuesday, the 24th of March is math with me. I hope that video helped you if you were stuck. If you're still needing a little bit more, you can always send me a dojo message, and if it's during regular school hours, I'll do my best to return it right away. Or you could rewatch the video if you want. It's the beauty of videos. But I hope that the video was helpful and that you feel like you're on the right track with your learning. I'll see you tomorrow for more math.